Welcome back. Now you're ready to create your chart. In order to create your chart, you must first highlight your entire data table. Left mouse click and hold down. Highlight your data table. Move up to the Insert menu. Left click on Insert and it will bring up a new selection of menu items. Here you will see the menu item that allows you to create the type of chart you wish to create. Charts. Since we want to create a line chart, move to Line and it will highlight as you move your cursor over it. Use the drop-down menu to select the type of line graph you want to create. For today's Math Skills Lab, you will create a 2D line chart with markers. Left mouse click on that choice and you will notice that a chart window appears with your chart already constructed. How simple is that? No drawing, and it automatically creates it for you. However, you will notice that this is not exactly the type of chart that we want, so we need to make some changes. First, check your axes. Are they numbered correctly? 0 through 70 looks good on the vertical axis, and then 0 through 6 on our horizontal axis. So time, which is always on your horizontal axis, is where it should be. However, you will notice that it's plotted both time and speed. We only want speed in centimeters per second. So let's click on the chart, left click on the time in seconds line, right click and simply left click on delete. Now we have our chart with a single data series for speed in centimeters per second. At this point, you'll notice that speed begins with its initial value at 1. 1 second at 0 centimeters per second. If you look at your data table, this is not correct. We should have 0 and 0. In order to change your axis, click on horizontal axis, right click, and a menu appears. Scroll down to Format Axis, and a new menu box appears. The menu box that we're interested in is Axis Options. You will notice that if you move down to Position Axis, right now between tick marks is selected. We don't want to be between tick marks. You can see them here, here, and here. We want to be on tick marks. So left click to on tick marks and you'll notice that the chart now moves over to the origin. Close out of your axis options. Here you will notice that your first value on the horizontal axis is 1. This is not correct. This value should begin at time 0. Right click, move up to Select Data. Notice that this window appears, which lists legend entries. So here's our legend in speed in centimeters per second, and then our horizontal axis labels appear here, and here you can see that they start at 1. We want them to start based on our data, which for time begins at 0. So let's edit those values. The axis label window appears, and we would like our new axis label range to include all of these values. Left click on Select Range, then take your cursor over to 0 and hold it down, left click, and select all of the values in that column. Once you are finished, move back over here and click on that window. Notice that your x-axis values now begin where they should, with 0. This is OK. Click OK and OK one more time. You are almost done constructing your graph, or chart as Microsoft Excel calls it. Now it's time to ensure that both axes and the main title are titled correctly. You will notice that your main title is there, but it doesn't look too good. It's telling you that your entire graph is called speed in centimeters per second. While that is close, a proper title should make mention of both axes. Left click on your title and the title box will appear. Move your cursor before the capital S, left click, and now you can add and improve your title. We will call this chart Speed versus, so left click before the small letter I, type in versus time, left click, highlight, and erase in centimeters per second. So now we have speed versus time, and add the words for an object moving along a straight line. Capitalize these letters just like you would in any text box in PowerPoint or Microsoft Word, and press Enter. Oops. Don't press Enter, just left click outside of the box. There's your new title. Now we need title boxes for the y-axis and the x-axis, your dependent and independent variable axes. In order to do this, we need to add title boxes for each of these. To do this, simply move up to Chart Layouts and click on this down arrow button, and you need to find a picture here that displays the main title, a legend, and 2 title boxes. Notice this one has a main title, a legend, but no title boxes. So let's scroll up and see if we can find something that gives us what we're looking for. Notice we have the 2 title boxes and a legend, but no main title, so we're getting closer. And here we go. Title, y-axis title, x-axis title, and legend. Click on that and you'll notice that your two axes titles appear. Remember, time is always on the x-axis. So move your cursor over this title, left click to select it, then left click before the letter A and erase or highlight the text and simply type in time and then in parentheses S for seconds and then left click outside of your title box. There's your new title. Next, do the same for your y-axis title. Highlight it, type in speed, and then in parentheses, centimeters per second. Then left click outside of your title box, and you are finished. Notice that the titles for each axis have the units in parentheses. This is proper form. Please make sure to do this when you are graphing. Titles are now complete. Our line looks great with data points, and our legend correctly displays what it is that this line represents. If you wish to have your horizontal lines showing in order to make a grid, simply left click on your chart in the grid area, right click to bring up the menu, scroll down to Format Plot Area, and let's see if that option exists. Fill, border color, border styles, shadow, 3D format. This is not where we want to be. Close out of this menu. Give me 1 second here. Horizontal axis. Let's see if we can find it. Add major grid lines, and there they are. If you want to add minor grid lines, right click on the chart area again, but be careful because you need to click on the axis that you're interested in this case the horizontal. Right click, add minor grid lines, and now you have your major and minor grid lines. This concludes making a chart in Microsoft Excel. Next, call over your teacher and ask him or her to verify that you have finished everything correctly. Although if your chart looks like this, you've done a great job. Don't forget to save, and you're all set. I hope you've enjoyed this making a chart tutorial in Microsoft Excel.